The recommendations made by the Commission on School Security will be heard by the legislature in the coming weeks. For a review of what happened at the Capitol this week, I talked to eCapitol reporter Shawn Ashley. Shawn, the House passed a bill that would use funds from TANF to pay for radio and television spots that promote marriage. What's the purpose of that bill and what's the reaction?
Well, this is one of Speaker T.W. Shannon's pieces of legislation, and he has been very outspoken since winning election as Speaker to this idea of promoting marriage. The Speaker cites a number of studies which indicate that families that are cohesive, married families with children and the things that go along with that are much more successful. Economically for the family as a whole, the children do better in school, and they make better taxpayers for the state, he says. So he would like to see marriage promoted in the state and the growth of marriage across Oklahoma.
And it's a way to fight poverty.
Exactly. That is one of the key areas which he cites. In a press conference Thursday, he said that cohesive families are 80% less likely to be in poverty than those that are not.
The House also voted to change the eligibility requirements for the Oklahoma's Promise college scholarship program.
Yes, this is sort of an interesting piece of legislation. A couple of years ago, the legislature added a second qualifying income level to the Oklahoma's Promise scholarship program, which basically provides any high school graduate from the state of Oklahoma a free college education as long as they meet certain academic and behavioral standards. Now, in adding this second tier of income requirements, what they were hoping to do, sort of like Speaker Shannon's talking about in promoting marriage, was recognize the fact that family situations change. That a young man or a young woman in a family with low income today might see their income improve. And rather than losing their eligibility, they could still retain it because there was this second income test. Well, what the legislature decided this week, the House of Representatives specifically, was to lower that second income test. So now a family's income can only increase from $50,000 to $60,000 before those children risk losing their scholarship.
The House also passed a measure to begin changing the A through F school grading system.
That's exactly right. As everybody probably remembers, the A through F grading of schools this last year was rather controversial. A number of superintendents did not like the formula involved. This is a rather technical bill because it gets into that formula and is designed to ease the impact, particularly on rural school districts.
A bill also advanced to sell some state-owned assets.
That's exactly right. Again, this is another proposal of Speaker Shannon's, and it's modeled after the IT consolidation of a couple of years ago. Not only does it look at selling assets, but it looks at consolidating our property management efforts across the state into a centralized office within the Office of Management and Enterprise Services. In doing that, they're looking at all the state assets that are out there, the thousands upon thousands of buildings, some which agencies only recently recognized that they owned, and trying to determine which could be sold and for how much.
Another bill that has advanced would require insurance companies to cover oral cancer treatments.
That's exactly right. Rather interestingly, this was a Republican proposal brought forth in the Senate by Senator Greg Treat, and the advances in cancer medications and treatments have made it less likely now that people are going to have to go in for radiation or chemotherapy. Instead, you can simply take a pill. But what many people were finding was that their insurance coverage did not cover that. This bill would require the companies to provide coverage for the pills, just like they do radiation treatments or chemotherapy treatments.
And next week is another deadline week.
That's exactly right. On Thursday, those bills which are going to continue through the legislative process have to be heard on the floor in their chamber of origin, and both chambers have more than 200 pieces of legislation to consider if they're going to remain alive.
Shawn Ashley from eCapitol, thank you.
You're very welcome.